你是否想深入了解 AI， 却迷失在媒体的杂乱讯息中？让树创实验室 Podcast 频道来帮你解决问题。我是 Vincent， 拥有10年以上 AI 大数据的海内外工作经验。我将用平易近人的方式探讨 AI 的应用、技术以及对未来社会的影响。不论您属于哪一个专业领域，是企业领袖、职场达人，还是忙碌的父母，想轻松掌握 AI 前沿知识，树创实验室的 Podcast 频道就是你最好的学习指南。现在就关注树创实验室 Podcast 频道，让我们在 AI 时代一同前进，共学共好。
Hey guys, welcome to Taipei Banter again, where John and Gavin uncover the interesting trends and stories and just talk about anything in life.
Hi, John. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Gav. But just before we continue, just want to welcome everybody back. You and I both back from a few weeks of hiatus, actually. Haven't been updating lately. A lot of things have happened during the summer.
Yeah. Holiday.
All right. So where did you actually go, Gavin?
I went to the Philippines, John. I went to a place, well, outside the city of Cebu. In the countryside.
Of Cebu.
So I could go to a place there was nothing going on.
Okay.
That was
so
the plan.
People fly to Cebu, but you decided you want to go outside Cebu.
Of course, John.
Okay.
There are places in the Philippines where you can go where there's basically nothing going on.
Okay.
And you can relax and, well, just do as little as you can.
Do as little as you can. Is that your one-word summary of your vacation?
Yes, John. I mean, if you stay in a city, you find things to do.
Uh-huh.
It's just inevitable. It's like, okay, what are you going to do now? And you end up going
Shopping.
to malls. Because apparently Cebu's famous for malls.
Okay.
I didn't go anywhere near Cebu City, so I don't know. But if you go outside in the countryside, there are no malls. The closest shopping center was about 15 minutes by little motorcycle taxi. And it was just basically a supermarket.
Okay.
And other than that, the beach was 15 minutes away by a little scooter. And that was quite empty and nice. So it was good.
All right.
Relaxing.
A relaxing vacation.
How about yourself?
Yeah, a lot has happened. I have actually moved.
Oh, congratulations.
I moved.
Was it a good move?
It was a good move.
Oh.
I think it was a good move in terms of everything. So, but the packing and the unpacking is still hell.
That is, terrible.
So I've been back for almost 12 years now, almost 12 years, and I've moved 5 times.
Okay.
That's not very pleasant. So, like first 3 moves, I handled it quite elegantly, but this move particular, I have a lot of figurine collections, as you know.
Yeah.
And even the movers came and said, dude, is this it? Or do you have more? And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's more. This
Stashed around the corner.
In
the toilet.
Yes. And actually the guy who's almost our age, actually, the guy who came to move my house. And he said, so how many of these figurines do you actually have? Are these old models and figurines? And I said, yes. And then he's like, wow, you have the most massive collection I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like
quantity.
In the boxes.
Oh. See, John, I never saw the whole collection because you had stashed it everywhere behind nooks and crannies in your place.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like it was all on display that I could go, wow, oh my God.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was, none of the figurines were on display, right? They were all, stashed neatly in the boxes, unopened. Sometimes
Pristine.
if you go online and if you want to buy on eBay, they usually have this word called MISB. It means mint inside the box.
Okay.
So that's how I keep my figurines.
I like that word, mint.
Mint condition inside the freaking box.
Okay.
All right. So that's
I did not touch it.
That's how I like it, and as a joke, many of my friends said, who came and helped me move, and thanks to them, helped me pack and stuff. They actually said, dude, you've been staying in the boxes while your figurines have been sleeping on the bed.
There you go.
Yeah, that was how bad it was. So, fortunately, the move was great. The movers were fantastic. I would recommend Taiwanese movers to any person who needs it because, I packed for a whole week and the movers came and moved everything on the truck in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Flat. They I don't know how they actually took it, but I mean, they were very smart with the boxes and everything. And they handled my figurines, my prized figurines with absolute care. Like I was watching them. They were like, lifting and, lowering the boxes like very, very delicately.
Okay.
Yeah. So they packed it very nice, and they unpacked, to the apartment where I stay, they unpacked in 25 minutes flat.
Wow. So they're very efficient.
In 25 minutes. And that was amazing.
Wow.
Loading was 30, 35 minutes. Offloading was 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But one thing I actually felt quite sentimental about was that, Gav, I've stayed in that apartment for a couple of years, as you know.
Yeah.
You've visited me a couple of times over the couple of years. At that moment, I felt when I moved, hey, your life of like 5-6 years in that same apartment was eliminated just like that in like 30 minutes. Like you're gone. You think you had something there, but in 30 minutes,
the permanence just evaporated.
Yes. The place once you call home, 30 minutes, boom, it's
Empty.
gone. It's gone. And now you have no keys to go back, and that is it. And all you have are like pictures or maybe like memories of Gavin visiting me, having a coffee, right next to the building. So yeah, at that moment it really hit me like, yeah, you think there's some sort of, like you said, permanence in living, like you created some sort of living, but 30 minutes, poof, you got to create new living. Whee!
Well, John, the change is as good as a holiday. There's a good idiom.
That's an interesting one. We should.
It is. Well, sometimes we just change our jobs, we change our lives, we change maybe a home, and that's as good as a holiday. It invigorates us.
Yes.
It gives us energy to carry on and try again and start over. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't say start over, but I mean,
you're continuing, but it's a fresh
it feels
start.
like there's a that milestone has been met, and up to the next one.
There you go.
Okay, so guys, thanks for holding on to the channel, and we going to be officially back, Gavin. Yes, and we ready to work. After all the holidays and the moves and all that. So, Gav, today you mentioned something very interesting. You want to poke fun at my name.
Oh yes. Well. It's just because your name as well is quite, how can I say it, famous in the English language. If you look at the Bible, there's a John there.
Yes.
And
John
the
Bible.
Baptist. Yeah, John the Baptist was a big important
I'm in the Bible. I'm part of the royal family.
A book. Yeah.
I'm part of the royal family.
So John, my brother is named John. I have a brother named John.
Yes.
So John is a very, very proud and long
in South Africa. Don't we
English
have
name.
More like Johans than Johns?
That would be the Dutch side. My family were English speaking.
Oh,
so
okay.
John is a very proud English name.
Okay.
And it's got a long history. There was Prince John, King John, I'm sure there would be.
Before you really poke fun at my name,
yeah,
I would like to just mention, there was a question a lot of people asked me in Taiwan. People go John, like Johan. Now, one student came to me and said, my daughter asked me, John, why do we call you John? But in Chinese, we say Johan. And I'm like, that's Johan, that's Dutch. That's the European way of referring to John.
Well, no, I mean, the spelling would be different.
Yes, but actually, for the British side, it's John.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, if I went to Holland,
then
I wouldn't say, oh, my name is Johan, even though, because my name is John.
Yes, exactly.
I would expect you to try and pronounce it
it's
like that.
So I explained to him and I said, that's European. That's from, Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how people call it. And then, so he's like, oh, no wonder. But, why? If you think about it, looking back in history of Taiwan, the Dutch actually came to Taiwan.
Yeah.
So they left a lot of the legacy language from them. So that's why I suppose at that time people said, oh, Johan, it's John. And then that's how it continued.
So yeah. And Johan is quite common in Afrikaans and in Dutch. Yeah. Again, probably from the Bible. It's a biblical name.
Yes.
So they were
Christian names.
Yeah,
right?
It's a Christian name. So yeah, there are those Christian names. What were the disciples? There were 12 of them. The one everybody knows.
You don't want to be on the podcast and say.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
Yes.
Those were the Matthew, Mark. Those are the first.
So if you come from religious families, your mother.
Well, religion was a big part in Europe.
Yes.
You can never, the Roman Catholic Church and
is huge.
And even the breakaway churches from that, the Protestants and all these other ones.
Anglican.
And they still read the same Bible. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those are the 4 first names of the Bible. So if you're in Afrikaans, they translated the name. John is not Johannes.
Oh, yeah,
Johannes.
Same.
So that's why
it's the same
John.
in Chinese.
Yeah,
in Taiwan, they translated into traditional Chinese.
Yeah.
And they've actually, adapted the names a little bit easier for people to understand here.
So that's why. So it's a big name. So you got a big name.
I've got a big name, yes. And of
famous
course,
name.
Poke fun at, my name.
Well, not really poke fun, but just talk about these things or phrases we use for John.
Okay.
We'll start with the worst one, which is the John.
Oh.
Because I need to go to the John.
The John. I need to go to the John.
Yeah, I need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And then a bit of an unsavory one where ladies of the night call their customers Johns.
Yes.
Because John is a very common name.
Yes.
If I want to go there and say, what's your name? John? It's like John Smith.
Exactly.
Now there's a name to hide behind in English. In Chinese there are many common names, but in English, John Smith is about as common as you can get.
Oh, yeah.
Smith is the most common surname, and John is a very common name. So John...
So referring to, paying clients.
Yes. So, many of them dream of marrying a John or their John. Then we've got an interesting one, John Hancock.
John Hancock.
Yeah, what is it?
Where have I heard that name from?
That is your signature. So there's an American thing where if I need your John Hancock, I need your signature.
Oh.
So
that is very interesting.
It was a funny one. There's this little story in the movie Hancock.
Yes.
Will Smith's character
is also John Hancock.
Yes, because he had lost his memory. He was a John Doe, and when they asked, he said, I need your John Hancock, he just took that name.
Oh.
And there's the
I
next...
didn't know that.
That's the story in the movie, why he was called Hancock. He lost his memory.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So he took the name John Hancock because the guy asked for his signature, and he called it a John Hancock.
That's
and then
fantastic.
we have John Doe and Jane Doe. So what is a John Doe?
A dead body. A male
Not
dead body.
necessarily. No. John Doe...
I've been watching a lot of CSI.
Unidentified person. If you wake up in the hospital and they don't know who you are,
yes, they will refer
they write
you.
Your name on the thing will be John Doe. Because it's from a famous case. I knew the story a long, long time ago. Of course, if you're a woman, it's Jane Doe.
Doe, yes.
So it was from a real person. So that's where it came from. So,
and in CSI for dead male bodies?
Unidentified,
John Doe. Unidentified dead bodies.
But not just dead people. It's also for live people. So if one day I wake up on the beach in Thailand.
And you've got Alzheimer's.
And my family just left me there and ran away. I would be referred to as John Doe.
Okay.
So those are the most common.
Not Gavin Doe, but John Doe. Yes.
No, Gavin.
John with some dough.
John has some dough. I think it's because all of these have stories, of course, where they came from. And I think the real person's surname was Doe, D-O-E.
Yes.
It wasn't a deer.
Yes. But that's how we refer to unidentified, persons.
Yeah. So if we don't know what your name is, we can call you John Doe. And then, of course, so those are the Johns that I could just think of quickly off the top of my head. Quite a few, quite interesting range of ones. Now, another one I love that I think is really pertinent to Taiwan is a lazy Susan. What is a lazy Susan?
There aren't many Susans around, though, in Taiwan.
But lazy Susans you will find in every single restaurant.
A lazy Susan. Okay.
It is an object.
It's an object.
It's an object. It's used in restaurants primarily.
Yeah.
And it's put in the center of a round table. And it's a round spinning disc. And you put your condiments or your food on the lazy Susan so that everybody can reach.
Yes.
And get to it. What is the Chinese for lazy Susan, John?
I actually don't know.
Haha! Good. I'm happy now. Now I feel
because we go to restaurants and we don't go to the waiters. We don't actually go to the waiters.
Say, I need the round spinny thingy.
Like, can you give me that round spinning thingy? It's a given. Yeah, you expect that at a Chinese restaurant.
But it's always interesting. I don't know if there's another English name, but the English name I know, which is correct, is a lazy Susan.
I think a lot of people would directly translate it as a turntable.
Yeah, a turntable. But okay,
that's something else. That's something else.
So,
that's for DJs.
That's a lazy Susan. So then there are a few others that we use. There are some of them which I enjoyed as a kid. It was Bob's your uncle.
Oh, my professor head of department
Yeah.
at our faculty. He loved this, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, and then it's done. It's finished.
Yeah.
It means something like that. And ta-da! But that is that sound. Ta-da! Which
Yeah.
means Bob's your uncle. It's
Yes.
done, and no major problem.
Yes.
So it's something that I sometimes forget, and it's there in our vocabulary, but, it just goes to sleep sometimes. We stop using it. Of course, Murphy's Law. What is Murphy's Law?
Murphy's Law is what will never happen will always happen.
No, whatever will go wrong or can go wrong will go wrong. Yeah.
I think there are like many rules. Like
I
12
have
rules
no
of
idea
Murphy's
there
Law.
were rules.
I mean, you can apply it either way.
Yeah, you will prepare everything, and then the one thing you didn't prepare for, not even thought of, will happen.
Yes.
In like Flynn,
I've never heard this one.
I've heard that one, and it's basically if you are, my friend has started a new company, and I'm in like Flynn, I'm gonna get a good job through him. So it means you have a connection, and you're gonna
to
get
smooth things out.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know somebody, or you know something that's gonna make something very easy for you.
Okay.
And I'm in like Flynn, in a position or in a
Right.
situation.
Right.
So, of course, here's one from Pirates of the Caribbean, Davie Jones's locker.
Davie Jones locker.
Davie Jones's locker.
Yeah. A lot of pirates expressions and idioms, right?
Yeah. Well, Davie Jones's locker is...
Walk the plank.
Yeah. Well, there's no name there. I'm just going for things with names in. So Davie Jones's locker is the drown in the sea. Yeah. This is where you're drowning, yeah? So anyway, there was pleased as punch. Do you know that one?
No.
I'm pleased as punch, which
Pleased
means I'm
as punch.
very happy. Now, who's Punch and Judy? Do you
Punching
know?
Judy.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard this.
Well,
I've
this
never
is a-
punched Judy, actually.
no.
Is
Well,
that
actually,
supposed
it's
to
a very violent. It was a puppet show. It was a very traditional English puppet show. So if you grew up in the 17, 18, I don't know, early parts of the English history, Punch and Judy were two characters, and they would have these puppet shows
Okay.
at fairs. And of course, they were very violent. They would beat the hell out of each other.
Oh, okay.
So pleased as Punch means to be very happy. So Punch was one of the characters of Punch and Judy. I think he was the guy who got.
Okay.
So I've seen little excerpts out of a Punch and Judy show on TV or in a movie, but I've never really seen
Like
one.
in black and white, dude.
No. They still do them. Do you think
They
they
still
just
do
throw
them?
their culture away? This is very old.
Oh, better
So-
dig this up.
Yeah, so a Punch and Judy show was a puppet show. You know, like in Taiwan, you would have traditional puppets.
Oh, yeah.
Now, these two characters are very...
Finger puppets, right?
Well, you
Hand
had
puppets. Finger
hand
puppets, hand puppets.
So, and I remember the one thing I do know about Punch and Judy, they were violent. You know, one of them had a rolling pin and got beaten stupid.
It's like Bugs Bunny with the bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's very violent. Next one, which I always liked, because I always say that about myself. I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none.
None. Jack of all trades. If you're a jack of all trades.
Means I can do many things, but I'm not very good at everything. I'm not a great woodworker, but I could do some.
Yes. You're a generalist as opposed to a specialist.
Yes, and it means I'm a handyman, but I'm not a good one.
And also, to change your tires, you would need the jack.
Yeah, well...
Not called Jack, but I mean, you would need the jack.
Yeah. And then one that's to do with our neighbors, Keep Up with the Joneses.
Keep Up with the Joneses.
I know there was a movie
About
title.
that, yeah.
And the Joneses, Keep Up with the Joneses means to try and keep up with your neighbors. Your neighbors get a new car, you try and get a new car. You know what I mean? To try and keep up with them financially.
Yeah.
I think it was a movie
Peer
about...
pressure.
Yeah. And it was about a movie, and I remember it was companies that would sponsor this family. It was a fake family. And they would move into the neighborhood and always have the best of everything. And they'd throw parties. And people go like, wow, nice car. And they say, yes, this is a Mazda. What? And this was a product placement. These people were sponsored by companies
to sell the products.
To sell their products.
In the communities.
In these communities. It was a strange story. And they weren't even a real family.
Okay. So that's definitely one for this coming Friday night. If you folks don't know this movie,
yeah,
you can probably get it on Apple iTunes or Netflix or something like that. Go dig it up.
Good. And then a bit more sinister one, a Peeping Tom.
I've got, a couple of friends who are Toms, but are they Peeping Toms?
So a Peeping Tom is a person who walks around and tries to see into your home.
Yeah.
and look at you. So if your neighbor across the road from you has a telescope which is aimed at your apartment window, he is probably a peeping Tom.
What about, nowadays there are a lot of these phone stalkers that take pictures of girls with skirts and
upskirting it's called. Yeah,
upskirting.
They would be peeping Toms. Yes.
Yeah, they would.
That would be
the traditional peeping Tom.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that would be now the new system. Now they use iPhones and B phones and C phones.
Yeah.
So they would be peeping Toms.
There we go. Technology comes from humans, huh?
And then just two more that I want to like to talk. One, to take the Mickey out of someone.
To take the Mickey
out of someone. I'm taking the Mickey out of you.
So
John.
You're taking the childhood out of me.
No. It means to make fun of you or to play a joke on you. I'm just joking. So no, it's not a mean word. It just I'm not serious, John. I'm just taking the Mickey out of you.
Okay. No more Mickey for me. I'm too old
Mickey
for that.
for you. And the last one, of course, the real Mccoy.
I've heard that
a
lot of times. When I was in high school.
Yeah.
I would read a lot of adventure-related books.
Yes.
And, unraveling stories and stuff. Who's the real Mccoy?
Well, now it's more used concern about buying something on the internet. You buy those nice Beats headphones through Shopee. And this is the question. Are they the real Mccoy?
Yeah.
Or are they just very good fake?
Authentic.
Yeah, are they authentic? And that's where we use it now, as in, it is the real Mccoy. It's the real deal. It's the real object. It's, it's not a fake.
Yes.
So that's where it's used now. And I think it's very pertinent to today's lifestyle, because that is the thing. There are so many copies out there.
Yes.
Some things, I have a bag that you helped me buy through Shopee, and I love the bag.
We're not affiliated with Shopee.
Don't worry, we're not sponsoring them. Right now, Shopee rules the buying sprees in Taiwan. But it could be through Rutan or whatever, Yahoo or whoever is out there, and it's a copy. I know it's a copy, but you can't copyright style, really.
Yes.
So the company that designed the first original, that's the real Mccoy, the XD design. Mine is a copy, and it costs, my goodness,
but can
less than
say
25% of the original's price. And it's a good quality copy. And I'm not interested in the fact that it's not the real Mccoy. That doesn't bother me.
But buddy, can we also, if we have the real Mccoy, can we have the fake Mccoy?
No, unfortunately not.
It doesn't
that
work.
would be it's not the real Mccoy.
It's not the
My
real
bag
McCoy.
is
not the fake McCoy, okay, guys?
It's not the real McCoy.
Let's not use the McCoys the wrong way.
So I have two bags that are not the real Mccoy. And I don't mind because sometimes...
That would make a freaking good brand, don't you think?
Real Mccoy?
No, not a real McCoy.
Not a real McCoy. Wait, what was the one? Was not a paper bag. There was this bag at one point. Not a
plastic bag.
Not a plastic. Then there
was a
canvas
bag. It was a canvas bag. That actually some designer brand.
And it was the cup that was not a plastic cup.
Something like that.
It was made to look like one. I have one over there. I had the silicone thing.
So talking about that, I think we should patent that quickly or trademark it.
Quickly, yeah.
Not a real McCoy.
Not the real McCoy. Yeah. So
no, if we trademark not the real McCoy, then somebody in China will trademark not a real McCoy.
But grammatically, we better be correct, John.
Yes.
We better. Come on. I would get some stick from some friends about my bad English then.
Okay.
Anyway,
not the real McCoy.
Not the real McCoy means it's a fake. I have two bags that are not the real McCoy.
All right. So, guys, there we go. That's it for today. So, Gavin, before we go, I think we have a few ideas coming up. We've got some learning segments coming up. And, we hope you guys will like it. Okay? Cheers.
Bye.